Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Correction X from your friends at the E2KG Network, hosted by Geeks Worldwide. My name is Agasicles and Dave, and as always, as I am one half of the E2KG Entertainment crew, and so I am joined by my other half, Mr. Dave Pecci. How you doing, Dave?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Good turkey day?
I'm getting over a cold, but other than that, nothing too bad.
Yeah, nothing so awesome as getting cold on your off time.
Yeah.
So we are here tonight. If you're not familiar with Correction X is our network's fancast covering the Fox TV network's show about mutants' extension of its X-Men universe, and specifically an alternate timeline covering the New Mutants. Extending off of Bryan Singer's movie franchise. So we've been following the show since its beginning. We didn't really get started perfectly in sync with the premiere of the show. So we've done a couple episodes where we've doubled or tripled up on episodes, but this is one of our shows where we're going to be talking about a singular episode, season 1, episode 8, entitled "Threat of Extinction." So this is arguably one of the biggest moving episodes, I would say, because there are a lot of reveals, a lot of background and history focused on this episode, and then you get some pretty significant events and a whole lot of roots for speculation on what this may mean for the series. Now, one of the things Dave and I were talking about in the pre-show was I have not seen anything definitive about. So as far as I understood the network setup for this show, there were 10 episodes ordered. Last time I checked, the episode listing on Wikipedia only had show titles for 9 of those episodes.
Nope, there's 10 now if you look.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good.
Outfoxed and Exploited.
Okay, all right, good. So,
and then the last one will be, what's this? The 2-hour season finale will air on January 15th, 2018.
Really?
So did you see that note at the very end of
it? Yeah, I see that. So this is kind of interesting. Hopefully we didn't doom the show by covering it. So the entertainment crew at the E2KG network specifically covers what I call short format series or short format season television shows, which means Dave and I try and target shows that are good, but that follow or another label I apply to it is the BBC format or the British format, just because that's where I kind of became familiar with it. But we prefer shows that are shorter in nature in terms of seasons rather than the 22 episode standard US season format. So Dave and I try and cover the things that are like anywhere from 6 episodes to 13 episodes. So we do a lot of the Netflix shows. That do the Marvel superhero kind of IP, as well as things like Dark Matter, which was kind of our biggest collaborative effort to date. And shows of that nature. So we jumped on The Gifted because at the time we knew it had been commissioned for 10 episodes. I was hoping to see them get a contract extension to do additional episodes. I'm hoping that the fact that that this is the format of show that we cover didn't somehow doom them to only get the 10 to 11 episodes that they're contracted for. So I don't know what the story is behind the season finale in January, or why they are only getting that many episodes. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it kind of worries me that they're doing a 2-hour season finale a month after episode 10, which is kind of like, that makes me wonder, are they trying to wrap it up or what? Because go on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it sounds like rather than get the extension to a full season, they're going to go ahead and wrap at least this season up. Now, it's interesting that and again, this is the Wikipedia entry, so it's already kind of suspect. It's interesting, though, that they say that it is a season finale rather than a series finale.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'd speculate on that may be going on is they may be moving the show to the summer and have it be a short format show that runs over the summer, to kind of keep people interested in watching more than just reruns on Fox. I think the show lends itself well to that. And so I wonder if the plan is they're doing a season finale now, they're going to go into production in the late winter, early spring, and then have a summer season premiere for season 2 or season 1.5. That seems definitely feasible. So hopefully it'll be that and not just the simple end of the show. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about episode 8. Dave, your general feelings on this episode?
I liked it a lot. I thought, let's see, so there wasn't a lot of action again, but there was a lot of meat going on between characters and a lot of character development. And I like the fact that we had a psychic, and they didn't just introduce her, they kind of brought her on a little bit. I wish we could have seen more of her. I hope that in these remaining episodes we get to see a lot more of her, because I believe we talked about this last time about the possibilities of who it could be, and one of them I think we discussed was Cuckoo, and so her name is Esma Cuckoo, and I believe you were telling me she was a disciple of Emma Frost or something like that.
Well, that's what they are in the comics. So is that actually her last name? Is her last name actually Cuckoo? Because I don't think she mentioned her last name.
Yeah. So I was looking it up. It's Esma Cuckoo.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That seems to be a definitive link and a definitive indicator of kind of what the background of that character is, or potentially what her future arc may be.
Yeah. So I mean, if they're gonna stay like true to the comics, I mean, they could deviate, however they want. But it's cool that if they do mention that there's a link between her and Emma Frost. I mean, it's not like Polaris has come out and said, "Oh, by the way, my dad is Magneto," but we don't even know if Polaris knows her dad's Magneto, because that could be, an interesting twist that they've added. So I'm looking forward to this episode 9, because we've had 2 kind of more talking head episodes, and episode 9 seems to be a lot of action. They're kind of a huge fight's coming again. So from the preview, what I saw.
So do you feel or classify episode 8 as a talking heads episode?
Yeah, because there wasn't a lot, right, until the very end scene.
That's true. Yeah, I can.
Well, yeah, I guess the very end and then in the very beginning too. So
I can. Yeah, I can give you that. I can see that.
There's definitely more action than there was in the last episode.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. So let's go ahead and talk about the episode in a little bit of detail. So the big major thing that goes on in this episode is we get the momentous meeting between Reed Strucker and his father, and that's where we get a lot of reveals. So initially, you're going to have to help me out because I didn't take notes for this. So there's an initial mission that so one of the cells for the resistance has been hit, I think, and some of the survivors, the refugees from that encampment, have shifted to another location. I want to say further north in Georgia. I'm not sure. I didn't pay attention to all the names. And again, I grew up in Georgia, so I'm familiar with that territory. But it was very late at night when I watched the episode, so I don't remember exactly where they were going to get them from. But I wanted to call him Eclipse. It is Eclipse. I was thinking Sunspot. So Eclipse and some others take off to go pick up those refugees. When they get there, there is one of the Trask Industry agents that basically almost takes everyone down. Fortunately, Clarice and Thunderbird have also gone, and Clarice opens up a portal, and that's it. It was one of, I mean, yes, a Talking Heads episode, but one of the classic things of X-Men content is their team maneuvers. So mutants using their powers in tandem to create a tactical advantage. Of course, things like the cannonball special between Colossus and Wolverine. So
isn't it the fastball special?
Fastball special. Sorry. So in this one we have Clarice open up a portal that the Thunderbird dives through, and then the exit side is directly above this mutant. So Thunderbird is able to drop right down on top of her and deliver a punch. Now this mutant possesses super speed, which is kind of interesting. Why they would have a speedster mutant in there, but I guess Quicksilver is alive in the Fox X-Men universe,
right?
Rather than dead as he is in the Avengers, Disney, Marvel.
I can't remember if we've talked about that, but I've heard several people say that they're two different people now because one of them goes by Pietro and the other one goes by Quicksilver.
I'm not even touching that. It does. Unless Disney actually buys Fox, it doesn't matter. They're both Quicksilver in two different variants of the universe.
Okay.
Licensing wise, that might be true. One of them may be referenced as Quicksilver in one universe, and the other may only be referenced by Pietro. So I don't know. That thing's a whole swamp. So So they bring that mutant back to the headquarters in Atlanta. And so one group has to deal with that. But as soon as they get back, Reed, who had already discussed it with Thunderbird before they went out on this mission, wants to go find Reed's father because he believes that he may be the only one who has information about certain references that they found in the encrypted hard drives when they broke those out of the courthouse in southern Georgia, I think. So they take off and they go find Reed's father. And as Dave mentioned, a lot of it is talking head kind of stuff. A lot of deep discussion between Reed and his father. So let's talk about plot and conspiracies, about where this stuff may go, and then I want to swing back around and talk about characters and performances and kind of what's going on. If I can be that organized, it is likely that we will just wind up discussing it all in one big ball. Because, like I said, I didn't take notes. I didn't have a specific agenda. So number one, the biggest reveal, I think, the whole thing is that before Reed leaves, there's a deep discussion amongst the Struckers about Reed's estranged relationship with his father. Now, it's a matter of perspective, I guess, because Reed and his dad didn't. Reed's perception is that his dad and he didn't get along. They voiced the scene very dramatically, and I'm like, when Reed walked away from the rest of his family in that conversation, it gave me the impression that his father had beat him. And I'm like, that's not at all what their relationship was. I was like, you guys have a pretty short threshold on what you like, on reasons why you like don't speak to a person for 20 years. So I found that a little
over dramatized, maybe.
Over dramatized, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I totally thought them walking in there that something bad was going to happen right away, like, there he is, or something crazy like that. But I think the dad was like, "Oh, come right in. Let's talk. I know it's been 20 years."
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. So at any rate, the big reveal of the whole thing is that let's just jump right to it. Is that Reed's father is a mutant. He did work at Trask. He didn't work on a secret project. I get the impression that he worked kind of independently to determine a means to suppress the X gene. And so he didn't work. What they were hoping to find was that he had worked on the project that that developed this, whatever means it is that they have.
That Dr. Campbell's working on right now. Yeah.
Right. So they had hoped that Reed's father had worked with the precursor of that, so they would be able to figure out how Dr. Campbell was controlling mutants. But that's not the case. He worked on suppressing the X gene. The other part of it that we got was that Reed's father is actually the son of the brother-sister mutants who we've seen flashback scenes for. Well, actually, we had only seen the flashback news articles cut out from an old newspaper.
We saw them in this episode. In
this episode, right?
Right before, right? Yeah, it only been news articles.
Yeah. Right. So, oh man, am I still in the podcast? Am I screen? Okay.
Yeah, it started sounding fuzzy for a minute though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So hopefully that wasn't me. Hopefully that was Google.
Do I sound fuzzy too, or?
No. You sound fine.
Yeah, you sound like a demon possessed you.
Yeah, it's cleared up now, though, right?
No, it's still bad.
All right. I don't know if there's any way for me to fix that other than bounce the podcast. Is it still coming out garbled?
Yeah.
All right, let me try one thing, and if not, we're going to have to break and reconvene.
All right. I guess I could say real quick that so going off what you're saying, so the big reveal is that Reed himself turned out to be a mutant, but he was the one mutant that they were able to suppress the X gene, but it was so risky that as we learned earlier in the episode, the reason he was in the hospital was that he was given that this thing that would suppress it, and it almost killed him. And then his father, out of grief, couldn't visit him in the hospital because of what he had done to his son. So Reed, it finally clicks with him that his kids inherited that mutant power, and the even more interesting fact is that they, if they hold hands, they will create like the super blast. And
supposedly, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
Is my voice cleared back up?
No, not yet.
All right, so I'm gonna have to bounce the podcast, Dave, and then restart it.
Okay.